What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. Still setting up here. How is everybody doing? Bam, we live now. We're good. All right, now I can hear myself. Cool. Okay, you guys, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover already. I know that a lot of you guys are obviously stuck on quarantine, and you guys could see the whole title of this thing is obviously to try to help you out, try to answer some of your questions. I just filmed another self-cut video yesterday at the shop. My man Chad was in the building, and he helped me to film it. And I got some advice for you guys, so that if you guys need some help or whatever, how about my lineup? It feels good to actually have a haircut. For those of you guys who are about to attempt this, or you're struggling with it, or you've had some issues, let's get some of these questions going. I already got a thumb down. Damn, I'm like 1 minute in. All right, so anyways, let's get some thumbs up, man. Screw that guy. But I'm just saying, anybody who wants any little bit of advice, just go ahead and send some questions for me, whatever you're struggling with. And that was another customer hitting me up trying to get a cut. I've been dealing with this a lot. I am not cutting hair during the quarantine, and my customers, I appreciate them all. It's just not safe. I just can't do it. So the other thing that we got going on, we're gonna have a little special guest action in a little bit. I'm gonna call up somebody, and we are going to announce another giveaway. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss out on that. This one, I'm not sure what the details are going to be. We're going to figure this out. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna text the man just to let him know. I'll be looking for him in like 20 minutes. We're gonna be able to stay live tonight for probably about 45 minutes to an hour or something like that. So, what's up with my Bills? How's my Bills looking? We looking like Super Bowl champs this year or what? I'm texting Anthony Barber. Be looking for you in a half. Okay, cool. So, everybody that's in the house today, how many of you guys have cut your own hair so far? And obviously, I already know what some of the questions are going to be. How do we get to the back of the head? Okay, and that's really the challenge, because if you already understand barbering, you're already a leg up on a lot of people. You're already kind of in there. You probably have the tools to work with, and that was something that I wanted to talk with you guys about too, because it makes me, I don't know, like I feel like people are being taken advantage of when they go to Walmart and they buy this garbage clipper for like $30, and they get home and they give themselves this terrible haircut, and the thing dies in no time. So there's no reason to do that. There's actually a lot of cheaper options that are excellent to work with, and you can find them on Amazon. And I'm gonna list some in the video that I'm gonna drop. I'm hopefully gonna get this video out for my self cut in like 2 days. So I'm also gonna list some suggestions on what you can do as well, for purchasing them. Don't just run to Walmart. Don't just buy them. Okay, no. How do we get those hard lines out of the head, out of the back of the head? The hair is denser, so I decided to cut my hair. I usually struggle there. Thank you, No. The trick to the back of the head is it takes a little bit of practice with the mirror, but let's actually talk about the process itself for a second. When you put in your initial guideline, now especially for people who don't really understand cutting hair yet. Thank you, man, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Uh, for people who don't really understand cutting hair yet, it's going to be twice the struggle for you, because you don't really know what you're doing to get out those really harsh guidelines. For most of my barbers who are in here, you guys understand that we set up our clippers in a certain way to get rid of that harsh guideline. Okay, so if you're struggling with your haircuts on the sides and not the back, then that means that your process we gotta get into that for a minute. So just did a self haircut yesterday. It took all day. It took about all day, but I did it. That's the nature of this. When you first start doing this, it's challenging, okay, and it's gonna take you some time. how many of you guys are doing this in the garage? It could be like hot there. I mean, there's so many factors where you might be sweating and you're under this cape, and it can just be a nightmare. It can just be a nightmare. So this is a good question here. Drake Tran, how do you do scissor over comb on yourself? I would not do scissor over comb on myself. That wouldn't be something that would apply to my haircut in particular. But doing scissor over comb on yourself is going to be very, very difficult. I would prefer to use a different technique, and probably no, I wouldn't use clipper over comb on the sides of my head for too much either. I would try to stick to your guards and maybe give yourself a slightly simpler cut to get you by this time until you can get back to your barber or until it's safe to go to some professional. All right, let's see here. I've been self-cutting for almost a year now, and I was wondering if you could give me advice on symmetry, connecting the sides to the back and the back to the sides to the front. I wear a parted slick back. I think I see part of your haircut there. And it doesn't look like you're doing a bad job. Okay, so to get symmetry, oddly enough, this is one of the easier ones to do when you're cutting hair and you're looking at yourself in the mirror. I'm looking at this camera, it's kind of like my mirror, right? I put my guideline in and I notice it's a little bit higher on one side than the other very easily. Easier than I would if I was working on a client. So what I advise you guys to do is let's put our guidelines in, which we're about to talk about. We're gonna put our guidelines in and make sure that they're at the same height on both sides. So I actually have one of my older self-cut videos like loaded up and ready to go. So I'm gonna actually drop the volume on that, put this in the hole, and let's see what we can potentially gain from this video. I haven't watched this video since I released it. I have no idea what's in it. I remember it did reasonably well, and of course right now with all the people who are trying to self-cut, it's probably gonna do even better. So let's get rid of this intro that's going on here. Okay, so let's just start right here. Okay, you guys can see I'm using my mirror. I'm looking straight in my mirror, and I'm hitting it with the 5-0. Okay, so I actually have a straight razor here. I have a clipper here, and somewhere around these parts, I have a trimmer. Okay, so I don't expect you guys to have a 5-0 if you're not barbers. You would never ever need that. It's too much money, and there's no reason for you to spend it. So any trimmer will do. This is a Gamma. There's also Slimline Pro Li. That's a great trimmer, very inexpensive. But whatever you're going to use, essentially these operate at 5-0s. So we're just going to go up the side of our head. And in this case, that's why I'm excited to drop you guys my other self-cut video, because in this case, I actually did make a harsh guideline, which is going to be harder for you. On my new self-cut, I'm showing you guys how to do it with a much easier way, especially if you're not a barber. Ivy Mac, let's see what you got to say. All right, so I'm gonna drop this, let this keep going, and stick with the clippers. Try to set the bald guidelines with the clippers. Something sounds crazy, but it actually works. Is I use a hairband around the head and cut. You know, it's funny, man. I've actually heard of a few people doing that, and I want to say I tried it on an actual client where one time, but I didn't stick with it. It was probably pulling their hair out. But it doesn't have to take forever. It really doesn't have to take forever. You guys can concentrate on the sides and those areas that you can see, and then begin to work on the back. It's so hard to film these self-cut videos, but this maneuver right here, this is my favorite, all right? The way that I like to work, I look to look into the mirror and look back at the other mirror. So if you guys think about it, for some of you guys with a really good eyesight that you might have, you actually might want to look into the small handheld mirror and use the big mirror if you're able to get close enough. See, most stations and barbershops are a little bit too far away, so we're not going to be able to get as close as we want to get. So yeah, this is a high fade. Like, I don't play around. You see how I do it? I'm not trying to screw around. I got no hair left. I got to hide that stuff. Let's see here. Would you recommend using 2 sets of clippers to help with the blend? I have a Wall Magic cordless, and I can't seem to get the line. No. Absolutely not. Your Wall Magic cordless is going to work just perfect. All you need to do is set your guard. So the reason why you're struggling is probably something that I actually covered like last week, and it wasn't related to this, but I'm going to show you again real quick. Actually, so let me think. How would I do this better? Let me steal this camera. All right, so this can be my low cam. Give me 1 second. Let me get this set up. So I want you guys to be able to see this, and the video is going to be a little crooked. Go ahead and drop whatever comments or questions that you got. I'm going to keep answering them as much as I can, and we'll drop to this camera here. Okay, so the reason why, let's go to the main again. Okay, so the reason why your magic clips are not getting your lines out is simple. It's because this cuts at 5 zeros. So if you have this one gapped, let me see if I can get this thing to start cooperating here. There we go. All right, so this thing cuts at 5 zeros. If you see the moving blade, right, and it overlaps or it is very close to the top blade, it's cutting really, really short, right? Now on your clipper, more likely than not, when your clipper is in the closed position, meaning that it's going to cut the closest that it can, more often than not, the problem is usually your blades are not set properly. All right, so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to undo these 2 screws. It's the exact same on this. This is a Gamma Ergo. It's exactly the same on this as it is on your magic clips. So once this is totally loose, you want to make sure that you slide it all the way up, get it as close to that top blade without going over, and set it down straight. So the way I like to do it is I like to just snug up one side. What up, Tank? Good to see you. What up, Juan? Snug up one side so you can still move it a little bit, and we will go ahead and we will just look down the line. I like what I'm seeing here. This is a terrible placement for the camera. I'm sorry. I had a better plan for this. I really did. But anyways, yeah, if I look straight down the line here, we're going to see, maybe if I put it over here, keeps trying to focus on me. Come on, man, focus. There we go. All right, so I get the straight down the line view. It looks pretty good. It's not overlapping. I can tighten it up, and I'm good to go. So that's the real reason why most of the time you guys have issues with removing that skin line. It's not that you're not following the process properly. It's that your equipment is not set up right, and that happens to barbers all the time too. Barbers deal with this on a day in and day out basis. So he says, I usually do a 1 closed on top and use the half after. Make the guideline with the clipper open. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So you're telling me that you're kind of struggling from the half to the 1? Because I was sort of assuming that you were probably doing a skin fade. Because if you're struggling from the half to the 1, I can help you with that real easy. As a matter of fact, my haircut that you see me right now is the one that I did it with. I did it with a 1 on top, and I do it with skin on the side. So the only difference between the way you would do it is instead of doing a skin line, put a half line in that same area. So the front part of the hair, any tips on self-cutting the front part of the hair, self-clipper over comb tips for the front? I would give you this advice. Don't clipper over comb the front of your hair. And the reason why I'll tell you that is it's not impossible. But the moment that I try to do that, I'm getting in my own way, and it's just so hard to see what I'm doing. It's a much better idea to actually cut the top with scissors. So I can actually show you a technique that you can use to cut your top with scissors. And just because it's a technique that barbers will use anyways, doesn't mean you can't do it on yourself. It's actually not too difficult to do, but it does require that you know how to use a pair of shears, you know how to hold them right, and you know how to use a comb. If you know how to do this, you're going to understand that we're never actually setting down the hair. We're holding it in our fingers or we're holding it in the comb. So the way that we stick with those guidelines is we're always holding it in something. We're not dropping it. We're not letting it go into the rest of the hair. Otherwise, you're going to continue to get lost in your haircut. So I self-cut. I do a low fade. I don't have any trimmers. I have fast feeds. I always have trouble seeing a nice straight bald line. How would I do it and end up with a nice line? I assume you must mean you don't feel like it's getting short enough, because if you're doing a fade and it's not got a line in it, you probably are doing pretty good. But if you absolutely can't afford a pair of trimmers to use to get it down lower, you can rake with it, which is dangerous. But if your clipper is set up properly, you can actually turn it on and you can actually move up with it. So if I turn this clipper on and I move up with it, the only thing is with certain clients, you're definitely going to irritate your skin. So I would actually probably open your taper just a little bit, and then you can do it. But as you guys can see, I mean, I bald faded this yesterday. Nothing's going to come off here, but it's going to get me pretty close. Hey, below the barber, what up, G? Finally caught us on the lives. Let's go, man. Good to see you back, buddy. Haven't seen you in a little while. Okay, so it sounds like a lot of you guys are struggling with the same thing, so I think it's time that we will go to the board. Let me do a thorough explanation, and then I'll get to some of your questions again in just a second. But I feel like these are the two new clippers that are coming out pretty soon for Gamma. I was trying to remember them. I'm trying to learn their whole thing. All right, so let's take to the board, and this is gonna simplify a lot of things. I'm just gonna do a quick fade scale. All my barbers, I'm sorry. I know you've seen me do this probably 100 times, but we're gonna do it anyways because this is a little bit different when you do it on yourself. There's angles that are gonna be challenging, and there's things that are gonna be complicated. But if you don't know a system to begin with, it's only gonna make the entire thing impossible. So I'm gonna give you a rock solid system for cutting the top, and I'll give you a rock solid system for blending. Okay. So most clippers have the taper. Obviously, if I click it all the way down, that's the long setting, that's the short setting. A lot of people do ask me, this is open, this is closed. A lot of people ask me, is it possible to go from just open straight to closed to get the line out? The answer is probably not. So let's go. Okay, most of you guys are doing a 1, a 2, on top, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Because if we're going to do anything higher than a 2, I'm going to advise you, especially in your self-cut, to try to use some scissors, and we'll continue with my fading method, and you'll be able to use some guards. So let's just say that you want to do a 2 on top, okay? And you want to make it skin with your trimmer, so I'll just put a T, but it's important that we understand that this is actually 5 zeros. So I'll just put 5Z, just so we know that a trimmer is 5 zeros. And if you guys are going to go down to bald, you're going to want an electric shaver. Yeah, so the first thing that we have to understand is how that lever works. You guys are absolutely right. I'm half watching those comments. But the other thing that we want to remember too is that in order to fade good, you want to give yourself very small jumps. You want to make very small jumps, be thorough, and make sure that everything that I'm telling you, make sure that you finish this step before you move to the next one, because if you don't, it's going to become a disaster and you'll never get through it. So anyways, all of us are capable of putting in a fairly straight trimmer line. So whether you want it high, low, or medium, that's up to you. Make the decision by how high you put this line. But I'm spreading this out to show you how to blend. We come in underneath. Bronze Series 9, if you got one, whatever you got, come underneath. In the event that you don't have an electric shaver, it's cool. You can just use like a Bic razor or something like that, but use it in the shower when you're done with your haircut and just do it around that very edges and do it carefully. And even if you mess up, it's really going to start growing back in like a day. You'll be all right. So it's still going to be good. All right. So he's got dog clippers. I'm half reading it. Okay, so we're gonna get into this now. All I'm doing when I take the skin machine underneath this, I'm lifting out slightly. When I get to close to about a 1/4 inch to it, I begin lifting out slightly and tapping down and going with the grain, and that's going to remove all that skin. But what I really need to have is a smooth line. I have to have no line in between skin and my trimmer. As long as that's the case, everything's going to be cool. We're going to move into the next step. I'm going to move quick now because I know you guys have heard this a lot on my channel, so I don't want to bore you. Begin another guideline that's going to be in the open position. So now you're going to put another line in on purpose, clipper all the way open, go all the way around the head, open, all the way around the head, okay? Now here's a key point. When you put in your guideline, make sure that it is the same on both sides, and that's going to be really easy to do when it's a self-cut, but also if I have a mirror, this is where you got to get creative. You're going to go around the backside, right? I would recommend something like the pencil grip. The pencil grip works pretty good for me. I even anchor my hand slightly when I'm trying to make that line straight. And the best thing you can do is try to use your mirror to your advantage and keep looking and keep making sure that it's straight. But in my new video, you're going to see that I don't put super harsh guidelines in, so it's super, super easy to remove. So what I will show you in that video is when I put this trimmer line in, I'm actually sort of flipping my wrist. It's okay if it's all over the place a little bit because we're going to blend it out anyways. And in my case, a 1 to a skin, if you know how to blend, it's not going to fire, it's not going to get you to struggle too much. Hey, what up, Brandon? Good to see you, bro. All right. So anyways, we got it wide open. We make our line. It's the same all the way around. And then if you have a clipper that clicks, and if you don't, it's cool too. If you want, you can put some notches on your clipper. like the Master Fades, these have notches on them. Now, I'm going to tell you, for the majority of you guys, if you get a Barber grade clipper of any kind, it doesn't have to be cordless, it doesn't have to be fancy, it will probably be fine. All right, you're not doing this for a living, you're just doing this to get past quarantine. For those of you who are doing this for a living, well, we need to have better tools than that. But it doesn't matter, and this clipper is probably one of the easiest to show it for you. So, with the open position, I've kept it flat. I maintain that length, and I've got this cut down to the open taper length. We're good, right? Click it one time, and we're gonna come just below where I was before, and I'm gonna begin kind of edging in there with the corners, moving back and forth, okay? You're not gonna see a huge difference. This is gonna start to dissipate. One click. Now I'm gonna stay a little bit lower. This is fading from top to bottom. Easiest way you could possibly do this. Another click, stay a little bit lower. Until you reach your final click, you're just going to travel carefully across your line, keeping it flat, crisscrossing it, okay? Now that is going to cause this to happen. Your blend is going to be perfect from skin to my open taper. So I'll just put OT for that. Now, some of you guys who are watching right now probably need to know what the very next step is from an open taper. I think the majority of you guys can answer this. But it's going to be a half guard if we're using wall. If we're using Andis, they call it a 0, but it's the same guard. It's actually a 1/16. So it's just your half, and then we go to 1. So that's the progression. After we have taken off, after we have no guard on here, completely got all this, the very next step on, half guard, open, repeat the process. Go up. And you can begin sort of lifting away from the head now because you don't want to create any lines. Now, for the gentleman that was here earlier who said that he's doing it from a half into a 1 and he was struggling, there's a pretty good chance when you put your half guard line in, so I don't know if you went through all your lever progressions, but if you did a 1 on top of your head and then you came underneath it with a half open and you were real careful in the parietal ridge, went all the way around your head, and then you clicked it all the way down and came down, you wouldn't have a problem. It should blend out, no problem, if you have your clippers working properly. So this technique never really fails. This is a foolproof technique. Now you guys can see, I'm not going to beat a dead horse and keep doing this. You understand what I'm saying. So I jump up to the next step, begin with it all the way open, stay up towards the line, click it once. Now I stay in this area, click it once, stay in this area, click it once here. Biggest problem is you guys don't hold it flat. You leave the head too much. That's 90% of the reason. Or you might not know the process, which I just showed you the process. So I think for the most part, this can get you by for most blends. And if we had to do it longer than say a number 2 or a number 3, whatever on top, it's cool. Once we get to that number 2, this is just an Andis guard, but this will give me the idea here. It almost fits. But all right, so this is a 3. When I come up with the 3, I want to just come straight off the head, right? I want to begin getting rid of that hair. But if you're coming from, let's say that you got some kid, he's got a mop of hair right now because quarantine season and he ain't got a cut, we're going to have to cut the top first. So I'm going to just show you a real quick way how to cut the top, and we'll do it. Because if you understand this, you're going to be able to use this to pretty much blend without any trouble, and you're going to be able to do it. So let's see here. There we go. All right, so let's talk about the top real quick. Just a quick rundown of what to do on the top to get you by in Corona when you got to work on it on your own. Okay, so first things first, we got to be holding our shears right. Put your pinky on the tang. You got your finger inside the hole, 2 fingers on the brace, and your thumb here. However, your thumb isn't going to ever be in here for very long. These are way too loose. Look at these. These are like opening with me. But they can be very dangerous. We keep them closed in our palm like this. We don't want to leave them hanging open. Next thing we do, once we palmed our shears, we're going to comb this, okay? So this is a technique you can practice. Comb, palm, cut, comb, palm, cut, all right? This is the technique that you're going to need to learn, because what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top. I'm going to begin my guideline. Let's see if I stood this way. Might be easier, right? I begin my guideline. These headphones ain't working out. I'm going to have to use it without them. Sorry. All right, I'm working my guideline just like this. I'm going to hold it in the center of my head, however much I want to cut off. See how I'm holding my thumb? Put my comb right here. My hair would be sticking out right here. Piece of cake, okay? and I'm going to simply follow a middle guideline, and I'm going to use my mirror, and I'm going to cut. I don't even have my mirror. I'm looking at this little dinky camera to find it. Okay, couple quick principles. Don't cut past your second knuckle. You will cut yourself. Welcome to the struggle. I mean, that's really the case here. So now that we know how to cut, let's talk about how to cut. Okay, technique wise, very, very simple. There's not a huge difference between the Andis and the Anthony. There's not a big difference between wall and Andis guards. I don't know where you learned that, but it's actually the American standard numbers are on there as well, so it shows you what size is what. There's also millimeters. There's very small difference, but it's not going to be a whole lot to throw you off. This will still work for you in the exact same way that I'm showing you. The only difference between wall has a 1 1/2 guard, which technically Andis has also, but let's not get down in the mud here. All right, this is going to be a top view. Let me shake this marker some, because I guess we're running out of really flicking ink all over my wall. That was dumb. But anyways, hopefully this is working. Okay, so if I'm looking at the top, right, I want to show you guys how to cut the top for my people who are cutting hair with scissors. All we're going to do is we're going to cut that center guideline like I showed you, that mohawk guideline. Okay, so here's our mohawk guideline. And if I was looking at you straight on, I'll make another one here. Let's say this is somebody's head straight on, and here is our mohawk. All right, got the mohawk good, got the mohawk good. We're going to cut it. We're going to cut it. I just pulled my headphones out. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's it. All right, we're going to cut it. Okay? So, YouTube is not receiving data. What the hell is going on here? Let's see here. Hold up a second. I think we got a streaming issue. Hold up a second. Let me see what's going on. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still see me? Says I got 50 people in the house. Everything's going good. Okay, cool. Cool, we're back. Sorry about that. It said that I wasn't getting any data. I don't know what was going on. I wasn't seeing any comments, but we're cool back again. All right, so back to my comments. I can see you guys going now. Everybody's cool. Okay, so I'm not sure where it cut out or what happened, but the center guideline, moving down the whole center of the head, piece of cake, right? And we decide how much we're going to take off. We take that off, and that's what it looks like. This is the top view, so I'll just put top view, okay? And here's a front view, so I'll just put an F, okay? So once I've decided how much to cut off, I cut this off. The next step, I'm just going to work right beside that guideline, and I'm going to travel horizontally, which means that I'm actually going to stand here like this. I'm going to see my center guideline, and I'm just going to cut that little bit of hair that's beside it. That's all I care about, right? And I'm going to work backwards just like this. Boom, 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 moving back, right? So what's going to happen is you're only really concerned about this. You've already cut. This is your guide. You already cut that. You're going to cut this. Next one. The next step, you're going to do the same thing slightly to the side of it. You're going to cut this. Next step, same thing slightly to the side of this. You're going to cut this. You guys can see this is going to work. You're going to be able to get all the hair on top cut. It's going to be reasonably even. It's going to take you some time. Blow dry it afterwards. Look for any long ones. Cut them. Now, the only other area you're going to run into issues with is if you're using a 2 or you're using a 3 or something like that on the sides. You need to be able to get this part done, okay? So the best way you can do it, obviously, is to see a barber. If you try to use clipper over comb, you're probably going to mess it up. So one of the best things you could probably do is just try to cut it with scissors right around the edges, hold it with your comb, cut it, and work your way all the way around the whole parietal ridge. I got this set of headset right in front of my way. So now that we have it, now that we have at least a basic understanding of how things are working, we're gonna be able to kind of talk a little bit more about what your problems are. Now that I've explained that whole thing, you guys are free to ask some questions. I'll get to answering them, and we can kind of talk about what it is you're struggling with now. Hopefully that answers you. Now, we didn't talk about edge ups or anything like that, but I actually find edge ups to be fairly simple to do like this. I'll begin towards the middle. I like to use my mirror, and I kind of like to actually hold it like this, all the way down here at the bottom, so that I can tap it and it makes sense. Now, in this in this camera, everything I do is flipped, so it's even more hard. But I'll just travel across, take a little bit off at a time, people. Don't try to overdo it. But the real way that you get your edge up straight afterwards is by using your straight razor and travel just directly against the grain, very small, little strokes. Don't try to take too much off at once. This can really help you to get your guideline straight. So any other questions we got going here? Okay, let's see here. Would you get the same results starting from anywhere else other than the Mohawk? Yeah, you can. You definitely can. But the reason why we'll start in the Mohawk is because it's in the center. So when we want to start this, we want to start this in the center so that we have good balance when we work our way through the rest of the cut. And if you have a person with a hard part, typically it works actually pretty well to kind of start closer to the hard part side, but not to beat a dead horse. I don't want to confuse anybody. Suman Casey, I get confused by what you mean by middle guideline. Does it mean separating your hair using your comb from the middle? Good question, and that's not what I mean. You're actually going to be able to pick up all the hair. So to answer this one, let me flip back to this other thing, okay? If I was to pick up all this hair, the reason why this all works so easy and you don't actually have to get too crazy with your sectioning, okay, let's say this is the top of somebody's head, right? And you picked up hair all the way from over here and all the way from over here because you were told to cut this middle guideline by me, right? I told you to cut this middle guideline. I'm standing right in front of the camera. Okay, so you picked up hair all the way from over here, all the way from over here, and you decided to cut that middle guideline like I told you. Well, the good news is this hair was never actually cut to 90 degrees because 90 degrees means straight out from the head. So wherever that is, slightly tipped, that's 90 degrees. And when this hair, even though it was cut once, when this hair comes back to where it came from, it's actually going to still be a hell of a lot longer than it ever was. And when it gets cut properly, it's going to be directed out at 90 degrees, and it's actually going to wind up to be the same. So the answer to your question is no, it doesn't really matter where you start. I hope you guys are following what I'm saying. If you pick up a whole bunch of hair and you cut it, it doesn't mean that you've cut it right. If you pick up all this hair and you cut it, just to show you again, if you took all this hair and you cut it all like that, what it's actually going to look like when this is all combed out is it's going to look something like this. If you were to comb this whole section out, it would look like this. Do you get that? Because you collapsed it and you cut it and now you opened it back up. It's similar to when you cut a piece of paper that's folded. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back to that other one. All right, my pen is dying. That's why my drawing's bad. My pen is dying. Okay, so is everybody kind of getting what I'm talking about? Hopefully I'm getting you guys to understand the stuff that I'm saying. Let's see what we got here. How do you fade someone who's going cul-de-sac bald but still has enough hair on top to fade? That's me. That's me, cul-de-sac bald. I've never heard of it called that way. Hey, yo, Drizzy, that's funny. All right, so this is actually a question that was driving one of my subscribers crazy because he seen me do this thing in the front of my hair. And he was like, why'd you do that, yo? Well, I got news for you. I got that cul-de-sac shit going on right here. You see this little island, and I'm thinning out right here and here, right? All right, but there's a trick. The reason why I don't look as bald as I usually do is because if I cut my whole hair with a number 1, I got all these growth patterns in the front doing all this funny stuff. I actually go with a half, I open it, and I knock some of that out. Texturizing, try to remove out some bulk in that area so that the whole thing looks even. That's how you get it done. That's how you do it. All right, let's see this next one here. After you do the 1 1/2 on top, do you use the 1 guard closed to soften that line, or do you go straight to the 0 guard? I assume you must not have been here in the beginning because we just covered this pretty extensively. If I'm doing a 1 1/2 on top, I'm just going to knock the 1 1/2 up, and then I'm going to put in my skin line, and I'm going to begin the process that we just talked about on the board. Because if you understand the process, I don't think you're going to have as much trouble. It looks like my stream health is not that great. Like I assume there must be probably a lot of people going live. It looks like I still got 46 of you guys in the room. Can you guys give me a little indication as to whether you're there or not by hitting that thumb up button down below, so that more people get suggested this video and my channel still gets an opportunity to grow, because it's a lot of work and a lot of commitment to do these videos. So the very least, man, hit me with a thumbs up, show some love. So thank you, man. I appreciate you, Juan. One of my subscribers, Juan here, he has been around. This man here has been around this channel since I probably almost since I started it. I don't know how long, but damn near a long time. From the UK, it's evening. What time is it where you are, Lewis? Out of curiosity, how you guys holding up with the quarantine? Quick question too. I wanted to ask you guys: Are you guys doing house calls? Be honest, because 6ix9ine said some of y'all been out there doing house calls, and he's already putting it out. He put it out there. Okay, cool. Everything's solid. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, because 6ix9ine said y'all been out there doing house calls, and I want to make sure that you guys are being safe. So if you're going to do it, definitely be wearing a mask, wearing some gloves, travel with Lysol. But I don't think it's a good idea. I really don't think it's a good idea, because there's just too much that can go wrong. There really is. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna put that in there. Boom. Oh, no one. There we go. Thanks for the suggestions. Can I get one more help when I cut my hair again if I have any questions? Absolutely, man. Listen, I do these lives. I technically do these lives every Saturday, but in the light of the whole Corona situation and the problems that are going on, I've been able to go live a lot more. And I was already considering going live on Tuesday nights. So you can feel free to jump in and ask whatever question you want during any of my new lives. So it's midnight. It's midnight here, and no house calls. But just cut my pal's hair in the house an hour ago. Oh, he's got it. He's going down. No, it's a smart move. It's a smart move, you guys. I'm over here. All right, so we've been pretty much closed since like April 1st, and I had this like illusion that I was gonna try to open by April 17th. I thought by then, 2 weeks, bada bing, bada boom, this thing's going. It's not going nowhere, man. It's probably less safe now than it was then. So I don't know what we're gonna do. It's probably gonna have to be another week. I can't tell you how bad I feel about people who took the step to become a barber and they're having to deal with this. Like, at least I've had a lot of good years barbering. And, you know, now it kind of breaks my heart to see some of you guys just getting into this career have to deal with this. It's one thing for us who have had time to save money, but for people who are just starting out, I definitely feel for you, man. And I hope that you don't lose your steam there. How many mirrors do you have when self-cutting? Do you have any tips to make it easier for fading the back of the head? Thank you for the question. I like to use the mirror that's in my wherever you're going to be, you know, your main mirror, and then I use my hand mirror. And I like to actually keep my eyes on my main mirror the whole time, and I like to move my left hand around for my hand mirror, because once you find that position where you can see it, it's pretty easy to hold your left hand still. Now the trick becomes everything backwards being in the mirror. So my best advice for you is to just move slow and don't take too much hair at a time. And you know, certain people it's going to be easier for than other. Like if you have like Asian hair, or if your hair is very straight, very fine, sticks straight out, I would advise you guys to probably not do too much skin fading right now. This is going to be harder for you. But if you got like reasonable amount of curl, your hair fades fairly easy, this will get you by. You guys can get yourself a pretty good haircut, and it's just going to take you time. But the more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. It's just like anything else. I would love to critique some photos. Anybody who wants to send photos, you know what? I'm just gonna put my email, because my Instagram is atrocious for this. I've tried to critique your guys' work so many times over the so many times I've tried to do it over Instagram, and Instagram just wasn't working. I'm just gonna put my email in the comments here. It's we're gonna go Master Prime Time. And I had a few. Put that right there. All right, so if you guys want to send me some of your photos, what I'll do is I'll set them aside. Saturday night we're going live again. I'll set them aside, and Saturday night tune back in 8 p.m. and I'll critique those photos for you, so that this way I know for a fact I got a few on deck. I can bring them up. Just let me know what your YouTube name is when you guys send this email, so that way I can say this is from so and so and put that up just in case you're not here. But if you're gonna be here, let me know, send me some photos, and I'll get into it. Something that I just did, a new experience, is I've been doing these one-on-one classes through Zoom to help teach some of you guys, and it's actually worked out pretty cool. I had a few of you guys reach out to me over it. I've scheduled some, and I've done 2 so far, and so far so good. It was great. We were able to use all the video tools, all the videos, the board, everything to kind of really hone in on what that person was struggling with. And if you guys want to do something like that, feel free to email me. It's $60 for an hour session, and we can talk about whatever you want. Let's see here. I'm just starting out trying to build clients. I'm still a full-time employment with the military. Had some great advice from the MMA's live stream the other day. Okay, great. We love MMA around here. He's been on this program a bunch. I can't get, I'm surprised. I usually can't get a live stream off the ground without him stopping by, King Troll. But no, that's good, man. Little by little, if you wanna change careers, okay, there's basically like 2 approaches. One is the very safe approach, where you start to build a little bit of clientele around your schedule. The problem with that is the clients can't meet your schedule, and the other way is to just say the hell with it, dive in full all the way, go all out and force yourself to survive. And I can't say what's right for you. I don't know what your situation is, how much money you've set aside or you can dedicate to this or whatever time, but that's those are like the 2 dueling kind of ways to get out of an old career and into a new career. But my best advice to you is do what makes you happy, man. If you really want to do this, you will succeed. If you really want to do this, you will succeed. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat, Teresa. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, anyways, yeah, I hope that goes well for you. I feel for you guys who are in school right now, and if you can do anything to protect yourself, while you're trying to learn, definitely try to do your schools virtually if your schools are offering them. Do all the studying you can away from all those people, and try your best to get ready for those state boards. In fact, the student that I had on the Zoom class the other day was from California, and they told me all about this. It forced me to go learn all about this apprenticeship program they got out there. It seems like some risky business, New Barber, do you have any experience with scheduling apps? If so, can you recommend one over the other? Jeremy, this is a great question, and I'm glad you asked it because it's something I've never even talked about on my channel. I use Booksy, and it's not because they pay me, because they do pay a lot of people. I'm not affiliated with Booksy. I would say that most of what I ever wanted out of a scheduling app is met from Booksy. It's just they do cost money, but they integrate well with Google. I found that customers were able to book right from Google. Like they had already taken care of all that for me. Like I didn't even need to set up the links and stuff. And it integrated well with Instagram and Facebook. And as for maybe using something other than Booksy, I can't speak to it because I haven't done it, but I know there's some free options out there. And maybe, it really depends how busy you are, because I wouldn't recommend get started with a scheduling app that you're not going to stay with, because it can be such a pain to, once you train all your customers how to get with you and get a haircut, they want to stay with that. They don't want to change. So Booksy's kind of built themselves into existence here for me, because I just know what a nightmare it was to get my clients from walk-in to appointment booking. And all of a sudden, it was a pain in the neck. And then finally they started getting it. Like if I had to train them how to do it some other way, I just wouldn't want to bring that drama in my life. I don't need that. All right. So uh, thank you. I've learned a lot. You're a blessing to new barbers. I really appreciate you guys. In fact, speaking of blessing and speaking of blessing new barbers, we're actually going to announce a little giveaway action, which means that I need to get my Skype out and give my man Ant the Barber a call, and let's see if we can get him. Let's see if we can get him on the live right now. If he ain't doing nothing. Oh, he's already connected. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to switch this. Okay, okay, we're good. Let's see what's gonna happen here. If Ant's gonna answer, he'd be forgetting sometimes. He'd be forgetting sometimes. What the hell is going on with my camera? Jesus. The quality of my camera is going down. Okay, looks like Ant is currently unavailable. We're gonna rock without him for a few more minutes, and let's see if he winds up jumping in on it. Um, but we wanted to announce a little giveaway action. We had some ideas that we wanted to do. It was totally unrelated to barbering, which I thought this would be a pretty fun time to do it. But yeah, Ant the Barber's got a great channel. I'm gonna text him right now. But anyways, yeah, I can get to any of you guys your questions right now if you want while we're waiting for Ant. And if we can't get Ant on the phone, part of this vlog that I'm working on right now, I shot a vlog while I was doing all those other videos at the shop yesterday, and I found a whole bunch of stuff that I can give away. So I'm promising you guys, I'm promising you guys a giveaway of some kind or another. I'll figure it out. Chad Volkers looks like a soldier in the Chicago mob. You know what? You know what? I can't lie. He does kind of look like a soldier in the Chicago mob. But anyways, the idea that I had the idea that Ant had, rather, it wasn't my idea. He was thinking about like a talent show or something like that, where we would have you guys send us some videos of you guys doing something. It doesn't even have to be barber related at all. It was just like some kind of special talent or whatever, and I'd put together a little montage of all the people who sent them, or like the top ones or whatever, and we could all watch them, and we'll figure out who wins it. I thought something like that would have been really fun to do, especially with the live feed. Do you, do you have any mullet fades? It's funny, man. It's funny. I would love for you to do a video where you go more in depth about different fading techniques for different hair. I cut my friend's hair yesterday. It was spiking out. It was very difficult. Sounds like he has some pretty straight hair, and one of the techniques you're really going to want to use is you're going to want to use a you're going to want to use some clipper over comb. And I usually do things a little bit different when I know I'm in contact with difficult hair. And I believe tomorrow I actually have a video dropping about that exact same thing. So a video is scheduled to drop tomorrow about that exact same thing. Okay, cool. You sent me some cuts. That's good. That's good. Uh, Carl, sorry man, I didn't get to you. How do you feel about shears? In general, I of course I like the shears. There's plenty of reasons why you should have a pair. Maybe not if you're cutting your own hair, but there's no way that you can get by, or there's no way that you can get those smooth fades that you want to get without having a pair of shears. It just wouldn't be possible. Let's see, does Chad maybe want to come on? Chad had expressed an interest in potentially coming on the channel, and if Ant's not going to be around, we'll put that on hold, and maybe we can announce that one on Saturday. But maybe we can announce another one right now if Chad wanted to come on. Let's see if we can't give Mr. Volkers a call. I'll go back here for a second. Oh wait a minute. Ant's active. Oh, he's active. We'll try this one more time. Man, I gotta turn that thing down. Let's see. maybe, maybe one. You watch his Instagram too. All right, let's see what this one says. Is this a good fade technique using Andis cordless trimmers, foil shave? Okay, let me follow this for a second here. Good fade technique. Andis cordless, trimmers 50, foil shaver, no guard open 1 inch up, no guard close gradually, zero guard open ½ inch up. Yeah, yeah. This could definitely work. This could definitely work. You know, barbering's kind of an art form. It's kind of subjective, so there's no wrong way to do this as long as you're happy with the result you can get. So, you know, there's no wrong way to do it. No wrong way to do it. Let's see. How long have you been cutting hair for? I started cutting hair in 2003 at a shop. So since 2003, so I guess I'm on my 18th year. Let's see. Get the eyebrows on fleek. Oh, this is a good one. You know, you guys want to see a video where I touched up the eyebrows? Let me see if I can't find a video where I touched up the eyebrows real quick for you. But while I do that, let's resume this last video. Let's let this thing keep going for a second. All right, so you guys could see how when I'm working in the back, thankfully my filmer is actually capturing this. It's really hard to film these self cuts, but as you can see, I just got the mirror angled just right. You see the way that I'm holding it? I got that pencil grip. I'm sort of flipping up and out at it, and I'm working that all the way out. To get the eyebrows on fleek, I'm looking for a video where I can show some of that eyebrow cut. I gotta go through some stuff here, and I'm curious to see if Chad is still in the room or not. He might not be in here. Let's call the man and see if he's got his Skype. I'm gonna call him on my actual phone. So anyways, yeah, you guys can see I'm sort of stretching the skin too. That's another thing you can do. Get it all the way down, blend it back. You know, it's funny because a lot of people think putting this lining around the back and sides of your head is difficult. It's not that bad. It really ain't. Chad, you there?
What's up?
Hey, we live, brother. You there? Hey, you got your Skype, dude? I can't hear you if you're talking. But do you got your Skype? If you do, man, I wanna call you on Skype real quick. If you send me your Skype name, I'll call you. All right, so now you guys can see the way I'm cutting the top now. I actually have a 1 1/2 on this clipper. The 1 1/2 blade, not guard. And you know, you could see back when I had a little bit more hair. But remember when I was telling you guys about the front of my hair? Hold up, let me stop this for a second. There's your cul-de-sac right there. And you can see what it looks like when it's all cut evenly. That's why I cut the front down a little bit shorter, because you guys can see it ain't all that great. You know, it ain't all that great unless I do that, because I'm starting to go bald. Oh, I use the fast feeds? Hold up, Jack. All right. So it looks like I'm talking, which I always do, professional talker. Okay, here it is. Open taper, moving up gradually, sort of letting it come off the head, and we're gonna go into the same technique that we talked about on the board, which was fairly easy for most of you guys to follow. And we are able to just keep moving off the side of the head. And I haven't even closed them yet, but this is what it takes to get this much. This is what it takes to get this much out of your guard. So you want to make sure that you're holding your guard flat, pushing it hard, holding that clipper and getting the length out of it. And then we're going to begin closing that lever, one little bit at a time. So it started when it was open, began closing just a little bit at a time, and each time that we close it, we stay just a little bit lower, just a little bit lower, just a little bit lower. There we go. We got chat ready to come on. Let's see here. Let's see if I can look him up real quick. How many Chad Volkers in the world could there be? A lot. Oh, I know how to do it better. I know how to do it better. There we go. We got, what is the difference between a taper fade, a low, or a high fade? The taper fade is generally when you blend out the sideburns and the nape, that you can do a high taper fade or a low taper fade. A actual skin line is when it goes all the way around the head, which is what you're actually seeing in this video. The skin line goes all the way around the head, so you're seeing a high skin fade in this one. Hey, what up, Xandez 08? There's my man. He won himself something, which I got boxed up today, but did not get out, and it's coming out to you. It's coming out to you soon, man. In fact, it was funny, man, because I was out of boxes. It was like crazy. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can just click this button and get my friend Chad in the house here. There we go. There we go. We're gonna call the man up. We got him coming. Hey, what's up, Chad?
What's up?
Okay, man, we're gonna have you. I'm gonna have you put your phone sideways instead of straight up and down. That's better.
All right, what's up?
And I'm gonna add you to the live stream just about now. Ish. Bam. There's my man Chad. Bam. There's me. So we're side by side. Actually, I don't like this camera. I want my Logitech. Oh, geez, I didn't know you could do that. I gotta minus myself from this one. I'll put myself up there twice. You once. I gotta get rid of one. Bam. There we go. Okay, I'm satisfied with this. That's so funny, man. All right, Chad. Tell these people a little bit about yourself, and tell them like how long you've been cutting hair and how much you like it or whatever, and just introduce yourself and put yourself a little bit. Turn your camera just a little bit because we can't really see. There you go. There you go. That's good.
You kind of caught me off guard there. I'm trying to roll with the punches over here. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Actually, I give me a second. I might be able to get this because I got an O-ring light. Just give me a second. I might be able to.
There you go.
But anyway, Dad, I'm a barber. Works for Eddie. I'm a little bit older barber. I don't know how many of you guys out there I'm a little bit older. I started late as far as like being a professional. I just decided to pursue something I had been wanting to do for so long. I just had to put it off. So eventually, I just said, you know what, I'm going to pursue this, and it's just a passion of mine. I really enjoy cutting hair. I love people. It's a very creative outlet. It's a very satisfying thing for me to do, and it drives me every day. I'll be up at nighttime thinking about a haircut I did, hoping to see him again, because I know how to, I'll be able to optimize that haircut or make it better, or there's just different things that just roll in my mind all the time about this trade. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's cool, man. Ever since I met you and from day one, I could see that you were real passionate about it. I could see that you just let your face lights up when you talk about barbering, and you go the extra mile with all your clients. And I've seen you grow in just the time you've been in our shop. So it's clear that you're putting in your reps, you're putting in your time that it takes to get good. Because tell these guys, like, I could tell you everything, man, but until you get into the shop working, it's hard.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's definitely something. The way I look at it, man, if you like for me, I learn from anything, anybody. I don't think I'll ever feel like I've learned enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I just it could be a brand new barber, it could be a master barber. I just feel like there's just little things everyone just sees differently, and that's something I can improve upon
Hey,
myself. You know what I'm saying?
we got an apprentice. What advice would you give to our friend here, Marcel, an apprentice barber here at 51?
An apprentice barber, I would just go Bills, right?
Somebody
Honestly,
asked if I was a Bills fan.
is to turn your ears on, man, and turn your eyes and your ears on, and just try to really listen and learn at what people are showing you, because at that moment it may not make any sense to you because there's so much that you're trying to consume and digest. But if you just like listen, because at one point in the game it'll make sense to you why they're doing it. It may not at that moment, but just try to keep an open mind to everything you're seeing and learning.
Hey, oh, you know what? Courtney is in the house. You know Courtney came to the shop,
Okay.
one of my students. All right.
She's great.
Okay, so Courtney was upset with me earlier because I
Uh-huh.
mentioned in a video that you can put like a rubber band around your clipper to get a better grip. And
Right.
you know what? I did not credit her. She's the first one I seen put the rubber band around the clipper. And I thought, that's a good idea in case it gets slippery. You know what? I'm going to start doing that. And it never even occurred to me to give her credit where credit was due. So she
Right.
put
Okay.
she put that first rubber band on. She was like, yo, I was watching this video. I seen you put the rubber band and you didn't even say nothing.
Hey man, you gotta give her props, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. So, Chad, when we were filming our videos yesterday, we both found a lot of golden nuggets in our stations just to kind of either take home. Some of it I had to throw away. I got a bag full of stuff that I'm gonna go through and start giving some stuff away throughout the live. So probably for the next, at least the next handful of lives, something's gonna get given away or at least announced to be given away.
Yes, sir.
So
You know,
what?
I actually have a pair of clippers I'm looking to give away to your subscribers myself. You know, what I'm saying I'm still trying to debate on what would be a great, um, a good, a really good, what's what I'm looking for, a way to give away. Maybe some of the subscribers could like give us a suggestion.
All right, you guys heard him. Give us a suggestion. How can we give it away? What are we giving away?
We're giving away the 50 cals.
Okay, good clipper.
50 cals. They're pretty much, lightly used. I got everything. I got the charger. I've got every piece that was in this box is in here right now, and I'll be giving it away to one of you lucky subscribers. Just give us some good. Just give us some good. You know,
Give us some ideas.
boy, a good giveaway. I want to get. What the thing is too. I'd love to get these in someone's hands that would really use them. That's the thing too. Is maybe a new barber doesn't have a lot of tools. What I'm saying? Someone that would really put these to use.
Yeah,
What I'm saying? That's what I'm really looking for someone, to get these into someone's hands that could really use them. You know what I'm saying?
that's the challenge every time I do a giveaway. Hey, this guy here. I wanna read this comment real quick. It's interesting. I learned to cut in prison where I came across your channel. I'm out now, but I have to go back to school to get more advice. Any advice for me? I wish one of the other instructors. He wasn't an instructor at first, but he was a student. He was a barber student of mine who did the same thing. He got out of prison, got a lot of hours there, and he's actually an instructor now, and he's just a great dude. So if you have the passion for this, man, just continue on your journey, man, and just continue studying and just know. In fact, there's actually been two students who really actually impressed me from that exact same scenario where they came out and it was almost like everything that they wanted to put into action, they had thought about it so many times while they were unable to do it that when they were able to take action, they were more successful than most of the students that were there. So I hope that is the case for you, Jamal. I'm rooting for you, man. And you know, if there's any advice or anything I can do for you, please let me know.
Yeah, just keep cutting, man. Keep pushing.
All right, so here we are. Been looking at the 50 cal and the new mag. Would love one, but I heard they struggle with bulk. This is kind of true. They're not the best debulking, but the good news is the new one and the older one, I haven't seen a whole lot of difference in it personally.
They're smooth and quiet, you know.
Juan over here, he wrote the bills suck. Why you gotta come at me like this? I'm over here trying to give something away, or Chad's over here trying to give something away. You gonna talk about my bills like that? Why you gotta come at me like that? How about what happens? We got to get this out here. What happens if someone in the UK wins? Do we still send them?
That's up to you, man. You know what I'm saying?
How much does it cost? Does anybody know how much it costs to send a clipper? Because out of all the giveaways I've done, I have never actually sent one to the UK, but I did send one to Canada, and I sent one to I can't remember, but there was like 2 that were out of the country, and they were like $40 to send.
Yeah, I'm sure those probably pretty spending to send to the UK, but you know, let's look into it.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Oh, I didn't say. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So, all right, probably a good way to do this giveaway is if we want to give it away right now on the live. Is that how we want to do it?
Sure, let's do it. Let's give it away live right now.
I'm down with that. YouTube is currently not receiving enough data, but soon we're gonna get hit with a bunch of comments because this is what happens. It's like YouTube slogs along pretty good for a while, and then it gets a hold up, and then it starts coming again. So, anyways, I guess probably the best way we could do this is maybe with the numbers again. Do a live. I like this idea. Okay. Do a live Skype with one of your subs, doing a cut and give advice live. I would love to do something like this. We would have to arrange that, but I would definitely like to do something like that. Okay, so we got beginning barbers. We got beginning barbers over here. This guy's asking me if I'm keeping my beard. God give me a way for a beginning barber such as myself. So I think he's praying to get these here. We're gonna. Okay, Peter. Sounds like you just got in the room, but we're giving away. It's not weird. It's actually Chad. Chad's giving away a 50 cal Magnum clipper. He says, "Am I keeping the beard for good?" Well, you know, it would be a shame to cut it now after all this work. Courtney says, "I say yes to sending to the UK. If they win, tell a friend."
So the question is, like, do I really look like I'm mafia? You know what I'm saying? Now you can see me on camera. Do I really look like I'm mafia?
Yeah, dude, he looks like a Chicago gangster. Like, if I put a top hat, if he came into the shop wearing like a top hat one day, had me all nervous. I was like, Chad, you gotta take that off, bro. People gonna get shook when they walk in here. Full top hat. Do you think there's any question we could ask? I don't know. It really wouldn't be too fair because there's people who are just starting. They might not know the answers. I guess we could just do the numbers game again with the amount of people that are in the room. All right, this is the deal. We got 52 thumbs up. There's 41 of you guys in the house. I know not everybody's been here the whole time, so let's get it to 70 thumbs up. As soon as we hit 70 thumbs up, we're gonna announce what we're gonna do. We'll play the game the way we've done it the last couple times on the live. Why don't you text it to me? Why don't you text it to me real quick? Oh, wait, you can't text right now, can you?
No, I text you. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do is. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
You want to? Yeah. Why don't you write it down? Why don't you write it down on a piece of paper, and then just hold it up once we see the winner.
Once you see the winner.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't feed.
What?
I don't see any live feed.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'll. Yeah, that's true. We can't do that. I got to be the one to see the feed then. Okay, because I could actually see who puts them in there. All right, let's go. We got 7 more thumbs up. We get 7 more thumbs up, and we're in there. We got a lot real quick. See, all you guys were hanging out in here. Didn't even hit the button yet, and we're about to give it away. Give the Bills away. I wish, dude. I would cut any person who's affiliated with the Bills hair for free. And even some people who were just on the Bills and just got kicked off or whatever, I would consider cutting your hair for a very short period of time for free. In which case, if you're not on the Bills, you're dead to me. Unless you retired with honor, you're dead to me. All right, I got a foolproof plan. Since last time you sent me the number, just you send me a number right now on your phone.
I'm using my phone.
All right, how do we get that data to me? Can you use somebody else's phone in your house to just send me a quick?
How about if I write it down? You can tell me the numbers, and then when you hit the number, I can show you the number. Like when people start, like what would it be, like 1 to 75? Is that how many we're gonna do?
There's only 42 people in here, and I don't want it to go on forever, so we'll probably do. We'll do 42.
And you tell me what numbers are popping up, and then once we get the winner, I'll say they got it.
Okay.
And I'll show you the number.
Okay. Cool. Cool. That's what we'll do. We need 3 more thumbs up. Someone's holding out. I just seen some people leave and come back, but Courtney just put about 14 thumbs up herself. All right. He said, like $20 when I get my package, and that's how much he'll pay for the Bills. You'll buy them all for just $20, the whole team. All right, we're close enough. We got 67. Everybody in here showing love. I really appreciate you guys. So, all right, you guys, this is going to be the deal. Chad is writing down a number right now, okay? And it's going to be
from 1 to.
There is, let's just say 1 through 50, okay? Because there's 42, it's fluctuating. So we'll say 1 through 50. Chad's going to say a number, and you guys who want to win this number, put your number in starting now. Okay, so go ahead and write your number down, Chad.
Okay.
Chad don't even have a number yet, so nothing. I'm gonna write a comment. Okay. Okay, starting now. Good luck, guys. Okay, so where I just left my comment starting now, that's when it starts. So let the numbers come. It's all good, Angel. I appreciate you. Get a chance when you get done. Click subscribe, click that bell, and don't miss out on these lives because, like I said, we're gonna start giving away a whole bunch of stuff. We got 27. The numbers are gonna start rolling fast here now.
That's okay.
Okay, 27, 17, 14, 21, 40. Oh God, there you go. Now they're really coming through here. All right, so where are we at? We're at 40. Okay. 31, 8, 19, 12, 34, 21, 47, 15, 15, 42, 48, 13, 30.
You got it.
13?
Lucky number 13, baby.
Oh, he did it too. He did it. Okay, here's the winner right here. She's the one who won. And she didn't hit thumbs up. It's all good though. It is all love here. Okay, you guys, it happened. We're good, man. Someone put a super chat in there. They tried. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. He tried to put that super chat in. He was like, "How about y'all pick me? I'll just slide this super chat over to you real quick." Okay. Let's see. Angelina Garcia, congratulations to you. You won. And for those of you who did not win, I really appreciate you guys. And don't worry, you're gonna have a chance to win in another future giveaway. Piece of cake. I'm not sure.
You guys can always go onto my personal IG profile as well and maybe subscribe if you like anything you see on there. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. If you got, you know what I'm saying, any questions or anything. man, just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Chad underscore and underscore Volkers, baby.
That's right. Hang on. Why don't you? Hang on. Okay, it's over. There we go. There she goes. She got it. She got it. I did. Yeah, she gets it. Okay, Angelina, this is what you got to do, and I'm gonna suggest that anybody else in this room, since Chad was nice enough to give it away, why don't we do the contact? Why don't you do the handle her contact and stuff? You want to do that, and I'll put your Instagram up on the screen. Then maybe we can get you some followers, so you can just handle sending it out to her, whatever.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good, my friend.
All right, Chad. What's your Chad IG at Chad
Underscore
V
M.
M.
Yep. Underscore M. Underscore Volkers.
Hopefully I'm spelling this right. I'm gonna go to your. I'm gonna just pull it up real quick because I got internet. You know what I mean? Might as well use it.
Yes,
It might be slow, but we're using it. Where do you live, and like what area do you live? Like, are we sending this out of the country now? That's what we don't know. Where are we sending it? You don't have to put your address. Don't put your address, please. Just curious the proximity of where you live. Okay, let's see. And I'm over here looking up hers. I see. Oh, you actually got a dot in there. No, you don't got no dot. What am I saying? Okay. This is Chad's IG. Bam. Got it. Okay. Here's the IG that you got to go to, Angelina. And before you leave, please do that so that I can track you down, and so that he can track you down and make sure that you get what you won. Oh, she lives in Houston. We're good. We don't have to send this one across the pond. Sooner or later, it's gonna happen, but we don't have to send this one across the pond. And if any of you guys, once this live feed's over, we're gonna be done here in just a few minutes. If any of you guys can find some time to go over to my friend Chad and follow him, show him some love. Like, you know, he's just like you guys. He's trying to grind. He's trying to grow. He's trying to get better every day. And he's a great dude. So he loves to talk shop with pretty much anybody. Chad's got more YouTube friends than I do. I'm the one who asked Chad who's doing what on YouTube, because they let him know stuff before I even know it myself. So anyways, you guys go on over to Chad, check him out. And Angelina, were you able to see his IG? And are you going to be able to get over there and claim that? Just send him a direct message, and he'll get the details, and he'll send it out to you. So, all right, man. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Anything else you want to add while we're out here? I mean, we can do this anytime you want, Chad. You're welcome to come on whenever, brother.
Yes, sir. I just hope that everybody out there is staying safe. I know that everybody's out there chomping at the bit to get back to work and do their thing, man. I just hope this ends sooner than later, and we can all just get back to the grind and just start doing what we love doing. And you know what I'm saying? Just tough circumstances that we're in. Like I said, I just hope everyone stays, everyone's family and friends. Just I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, once again, bro, I appreciate you coming on. What's that? I miss you.
I said, just like Big Al says, just keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? That's a true statement right there.
That's right, man. We got to stay on the grind. Already did. Hey, Carl followed you, man. Oh, good. I'm sure you're going to get a couple. There's still 44 people in here. It'd be cool to get 44 near new. Hey, Brandon, what up, G? Okay, so she wrote, I've been following on YouTube because our cutting styles are very similar. I just signed up for my own channel. Yes, I'll DM him. Much love. I'm excited. Thanks. Hey, that's cool. You know what? If you post a video on your YouTube channel that you want to start of you using that, if I have your permission, I'll I'll put you in a live feed with it. That'd be really fun to see. I would love to do that for you. So also, why don't you follow me at Uptown Barbershop Naples, and I could put that up on the screen for you real quick. If you follow me also, that we can coordinate that once you get your clipper. He's still guessing, and he guessed 13. All right, there's my IG, Uptown Barbershop Naples. I'll drop that right there. This guy, he just asked, I see, how do I follow Chad? Just head over to Instagram once this is over and follow him up. So, all right, my man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to wrap it up with these kind folks who've hung out with us for an hour, and I'll see you very soon, buddy, I'm sure. Later. Okay, my friends, that was Chad, one of my main men, and he's just a great all-around guy. So if you guys get a chance, go on over there, give him a follow. I'm gonna leave these up for just a couple more minutes. Any other questions you guys got about potentially cutting your own hair, or let me know what you thought about the live. Did you enjoy it? Were we entertaining? I've actually been watching some lives on Instagram lately, and I was live on Instagram for Gamma for like a couple hours the other day. It was fun. It's pretty cool to see that we can hold an audience here of like 40 or 50 people like regularly, because I noticed that a lot of people were doing live streams on Instagram, and the viewership was like really all over the place. They'd have 50, and then they'd have 10, and then they'd have 4, and then they'd have 9. But I guess you just keep going. Oh, them eyebrows. Gee, them eyebrows. I almost forgot about those eyebrows. Hold up. I promise you I'm going to pull this up real quick, so I'm going to do it. Let's see here. What do we got? Let's go to YouTube, finish projects. You guys know how many projects like I'm currently working on? It's like that guy who starts working on a whole bunch of things around his house. Like he'll half start his lawn, he'll half paint one side of his house, he'll go in and fix a dryer, and then realize that like nothing's getting done in the end. Oh, you know what? In this video I did some eyebrows. Let me make sure before I... There, yeah, boy, yeah, I got us. Okay, we're good. Let's drop you right where you belong. Boom, right in there. Okay, we're not gonna go through this whole haircut. I do not have enough time to do that, but let me slide over to where the eyebrows start. Bam, right here. So it looks like I'm getting pretty close to starting his eyebrows. And there is something that I do on the eyebrows that I haven't really seen anybody else do on YouTube or anywhere else really. It's just, this is my style. Okay, I like to begin towards the middle, kind of arcing out towards the other side. See, you're right-handed, right? So this is where it really helps. I'll use a backhand stroke, and right here, that's the money shot right there. Boom. If you learn how to use the backhand stroke, his left eyebrow will become as easy as his right eyebrow is for you. Then some people want them thinner than others. Some people want them just left mostly natural, just clean out the center. So you can kind of, you have to ask your client what they want to do. But yeah, I'll usually just go over the tops. I'll go over the middle. And dude, how do you think? You think you did my eyebrows a time or two on some video? Yeah, I did. For sure. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so you see the way you get in underneath the eyebrows. This is a challenge for people who are just starting out, because really you're working very close to your client's eye. But here's a move right here that's underrated. I don't see a lot of barbers pulling this move out here, but look how nice his eyebrows look once you cut all those little hairs that stick out. Now, not everybody has that problem. Not everybody has, but look at the way his eyebrows stick out right in that area. Travel around there with that comb. You're going to get them on fleek, and then I'll come around to this other side. You guys see me working with the N95 respirator mask. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was still working with that mask. But coming in underneath. Oh, what length? This is a good answer. Good answer here. what length did I trim them to? I usually put a number one, put the clipper in the open position, put a number one on, and come directly against the grain. For most people, unless they're blonde, they're gray, or they're very, very thin, in which case I'll usually use trimmer over comb. So I'll take a trimmer, a comb, I'll comb the hair up, and go across the top of the comb. That's the way I typically will do it when a person's thin. But his eyebrows are not thin. I was able to just run a one open across the whole eyebrow. And I usually, a lot of times, I use lately the clips that come with the Gamma. You just put it on. They have a 1.5. You can put the 1.5 on there and just pretty much cut whatever sticks out. So some people use wax. It's kind of funny that you say that, Carl. I used to use wax. I did that a lot back in the day. But when I signed my lease, there's actually like 2 other salons in my plaza, and there's a waxing salon that does nothing but waxing. So when I signed my lease, they were like, "Hey, we don't want you doing any waxing here." So that was the main reason why I don't have a wax machine in there. But on the other hand, I'm not saying we're doing bad without it. I mean, we managed to get by with our straight razors, and I have a handful of women who come in, and they come in and they get their eyebrows done too. Hey, Ed, this falls into the hairstylist category, but do you have any tips on how to cut the fringe of a textured coif haircut? I can DM you photos for Instagram, what I'm shooting for if you want. Yeah, feel free to send me the photos. I can definitely mention that on the Saturday live. That'll be a good thing to talk into. And if you guys have any suggestions for what we want to talk about Saturday, please leave it down below, because I haven't really figured out 100% topic that I want to talk about. But I was thinking about maybe talking about like a budget barber kit or something that can get you by, or potentially a traveling barber kit, which would be different than what I would want to use if I was working in a shop only. Because if I'm working in a shop, I could bring in the heavy guns. But if I'm traveling, I want to travel light. And for some of you guys, there might be some travel in your future. Even when this is over, part of your clients might not be able to come to the shop no more. So I am not advising that you go out and cut hair during this pandemic. I'm just going to show you that the tools that I would use, how I would travel, and what I feel would work best. So that's what I'm leaning towards. But if you guys have any other ideas for the live on Saturday, drop it down below. And I'm making my best effort to answer all your questions. That's what I'm talking about, Dark Knight. We're going to end on a good night. We're going to end on a good note right there. Go Bills. You know what's up. We're going to be the leaders of the game this year. I hope NFL is still on. Gonna bounce. It's 1:30 in the morning. I appreciate you for hanging out so late. I'm getting off too. I really do appreciate you guys for stopping in here and hanging out with me. And it's been a lot of fun, and I feel a lot less lonely by doing these lives and at least being able to hang out with you guys. And you guys been showing the love back. Thank you so much for all the thumbs up, the likes, the comments, and the contributions to my lives. And you guys make the show what it is. You really do. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I am Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'll see you guys Saturday at 8 p.m. next live. Peace. I'm out.